Home Assistant is an open source automation system that allows control of various devices in your home, including TVs, smart plugs, heating systems, etc. The Home Assistant portal can be run on either a smartphone with their dedicated app or via a web browser. MindExpress 5 can now also control devices in your home via Home Assistant. In order to run the Home Assistant software, you do need to have a device to run the software on. These can come in the form of the Home Assistant Green, which costs $99 or the more expensive Home Assistant Yellow. The Green is our recommended solution. Both of these devices are very useful in the fact that they come with Home Assistant pre-installed on them without you having to do any complicated setting up. For the more adventurous among you, you can build your own device based around a Raspberry Pi computer. Both the green and the yellow devices can be ordered and shipped anywhere around the world. Please visit the Home Assistant website shown on the screen for ordering and getting more information about the initial setting up and configuration of the Home Assistant device. Once you have the Home Assistant device set up on your network, you will be prompted to go to the following web address. So you'll need to open a web browser and you'll type in Home Assistant : and then a number. That number will be different for you because it's used different numbers for different networks. So I've now just opened Home Assistant and you'll see that it automatically finds all the devices on your network. So here we're looking at my printer, my Canon printer. Over here we've got an LG television, and here I've got some switches on my network which I use for turning off lights and things. And also I've got my home heating system here as well, which is a Hive system, so I can also control that as well. Okay, so now we've got the Home Assistant system set up. I'm now going to show you how you set that up in MindExpress. So here I've just created a user profile called Home Assistant, and I've imported our environmental control page set directly into MindExpress. So the first thing you'll want to do is to click on Menu and Settings, and then go to Environmental Control, and you will then need to turn on your Home Assistant option here. Now you're going to need a URL and an access token. So the URL is nice and easy. That is just the address that you typed in previously when you set up your Home Assistant. Okay, so you can now see here that I've typed in that URL into my box here in MindExpress. Now I need to get an access token. Now to do that, I need to go back to the Home Assistant interface, and down in the bottom left you will have your username that you've previously set up. Select that. Then go and select Security in the top right or top middle, and then scroll down to the bottom and you'll see an option called Create Token. So you select Create Token, and you can then give that token a name. So in this case I'm just going to use ME5 Jabla. It can be anything you like, it really doesn't matter. We can do that, and it then generates this lovely token. I can select the copy button just here to copy it into my clipboard. I can then go back to MindExpress and I can then paste with Control V. I can paste that access token in. So don't worry about remembering that, but you could make a record of it somewhere if you like. So that's now connected MindExpress to my Home Assistant device. Okay, so now I want to import some of those devices into MindExpress, and we can do that just here with the Import Device button. So you'll now see when I click on that, it's brought up my devices that we saw in the Home Assistant portal. So I'm going to choose my LG TV, so I can select it and then press the import icon. And I also want to put in my string lights that I can switch on and off in the garden. I can import that as well. So you can import other ones as you go along. So what will now happen, so under TV for instance, I've now got my LG TV listed, and if I edit that you will see that all of my actions are already programmed in, and also under power outlet you'll see my string lights are listed there as well. Okay, so what will happen now in environmental control, if I go to television for instance, Okay, you'll now see, if I go into edit mode, that the power button and the channel up and down have already been associated with those actions in the Home Assistant panel. Now I might also want to set my lights up.
Nice.
Okay, now in this case it may be that sometimes MindExpress hasn't directly imported the actions in, so I will want to add an action for my on and off to turn my lights on and off. So if I do add action, I can use environmental control, and I need to go to power outlet because that's what I'm using to turning my lights on and off, and I can select my device, which is string lights, and then I can set that to on or off or on off, and I can also set behavior to send once or keep pressed, which is very useful for volume commands, etc. So that's done that for on, and I will just do the same for off, and I shall go to environmental control, power outlet, string lights, and I want to set that to off, like so. And that's it. So now when I press it on, you probably can't hear that, but there's a little switch in my room that's clicking on and off. That's turning the lights on and off in my garden. So yes, that's basically it. Please feel free to contact us with any problems you may have.